Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Tappan Street Gym on the campus of Brookline High School in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys volleyball contest between the visiting Tigers of Newton North High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. I see we already got some notes in the live chat from Marsha Buchanan and Ed saying Naples fans are all settled in for the big match, and then kind of wondering where I was. Sorry, we were a few minutes later to start this one up after the JV match than would have liked. Got a bit distracted, but we're here now, and we're ready to get this one started. And I say we because I'm not alone here today. I am joined by my color commentator. He was our play-by-play man for the JV match that just finished up, and he's going to be our color commentator for the varsity match, Brookline High freshman Sam Lowenstein. And Sam, this one should be a good one.
Thank you so much for having me on for here. 2 straight games today between Brookline and Newton North. We just wrapped up the game 20 minutes ago in the JV1 matchup. Brookline winning that one handily in 2-0. A dominant first set 25-15, then even more controlled set 25-10, where they were trying out different things, trying to hit the ball as hard as they can on serves, and it really seemed like they were experimenting a little bit more and could have won by an even larger margin. But here the varsity game, Brookline on a 3-game winning streak since their lone loss against Natick.
You and those N teams, man,
they
throw
today.
You for a loop. But Brookline actually just beat Needham 3-0 on Tuesday as part of that winning streak, and now facing a tough opponent in Newton North. Brookline, as of the most recent power rankings that came out Tuesday morning, first in MIAA Division I with a 13-1 record. That 5-set loss to Natick here in Tappan, the lone blotch on their record so far this year. Newton North coming in with a strong record of 12-5, but they're in a bit of a slide now. They've lost 3 straight, actually. Last Thursday, they lost 3-1 to Needham. On Tuesday, they lost 3-0 to Natick. Yesterday, they lost 3-0 to St. John's. So this is their 3rd day in a row playing a match, and they're hoping to bounce back against a Brookline team that they gave a really tough fight to last time. Those of you who watched our broadcast of that match on April 15th, you know Brookline narrowly beat Newton North in 5 sets, 3-2. With set scores 23-25, 25-21, 15-25, 25-13, and then 15-12 in a close do-or-die 5th set. So this promises to be a tight one here. As we get the starters coming out on the floor for Brookline, we see Alex Smagula, Kristaps Vivars, Liam Raybold, Zach Spencer subbing out for the libero Andrew Bacon, and then Amir Tomer and Connor Christopher. For Newton North, we see number 23, Amaris Cotto. We see number 14, Nico Atwood. Number 13, Peter Reel. Subbing out for the libero, number 1, Brady Dwyer. We see number 15, Ben Tauvim. Number 12, Taz Weber. And number 20, Bryson Mercedes. So here we go. On serve is Weber, and we get this one started. First serve received by Amir Tomer, set by Alex Magula, and Kristaps Vivars actually whiffed on that spike. I don't think that was blocked. I think that one just went off the net.
Well, Jesse, on that play, Newton North, they didn't even have time to set up. Had their 2 blockers to the left side and middle, but besides that, really a quick exchange.
This serve taken by Tomer, set by Smagula. Vivars tries again, and this time executes very well, hand to hardwood for the first kill of the day.
Well, Jesse, it's only going to be so many times that Kristaps Vivars misses, and when he does miss, almost every time he's going to hit it the next go around.
First kill of the day for Vivars. He had 18 the last time he faced Newton North. A hard serve from Alex Magula, received awkwardly and pushed over by Dwyer. Chased down barely by Tomer, set by Smagula. And another spike from Vivars beautifully down the line.
Well, a good set there from Alex Magula, able to set up Kristaps Vivars on the outside as he is able to keep Newton North off balance.
2 assists now for Smagula. Last time against Newton North, he had 48 assists in those 5 sets. This one sent over on 1 and sent back down on 1. Kristaps Vivars missed the first one and said, oh, that's not happening again. And he's now hit 3 straight kills for the Warriors.
Well, Jesse, on that play, Newton North had no blockers in front of Kristaps Vivars. A wide open hit for him.
Another powerful serve, and it's an ace for Alex Smagula. Brookline bringing the fire to start here in the first set.
And a fiery start is exactly right. Alex Smagula dominant with his serves. He's doing these spin serves going down, but they have high velocity on him. And Newton North have had trouble with the digs.
This serve awkwardly received, but followed up this time and tapped over by Weber. Taken by Raybold, set by Smagula. Connor Christopher, it's dug out by Weber, followed up, and they tap it over, but a good watch by Andrew Bacon on the sideline there as that one flies out, coming off the hand of number 20, Bryson Mercedes. And a timeout called by Newton North as Brookline out to a hot start here, 5-1.
Smagula's serves have really left Newton North's defenders off balance. They've been unable to set up good opportunities for their setters, and that's just killed everything for the Tigers. Brookline dominating this start.
We got another note in the live chat from Nadav Tomer saying, hi from Nashville, go Warriors. Hey, I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're doing out in the Music City out there, Nadav. And hope you enjoy this broadcast. Vivars had 18 kills in 5 sets against Newton North back in April. He had 18 kills in 3 sets against Needham on Tuesday. So he is really starting to get into a rhythm. We'll see what he is able to do today as Smagula sends this one over, dug out and sent over on 1 again, taken by Bacon, set by Smagula. This time it's Raybold. It's dug out by Weber, set up and punched over awkwardly by Cotto. Now Smagula sets for Amir Tomer, goes for the roll shot, dug out by Weber, tapped over on 2 by Mercedes. Nice diving dig by Bacon, set by Smagula, spike by Connor Christopher.
Christopher serves as such a serviceable option on the right side for Brookline. The Tigers attending to Kristaps Vivars from wherever he is on the court. Now Will Kiger coming on for Vivars.
Boy, Brookline getting the freshman some playing time. He's been swinging back and forth between JV1 and varsity. He just got 5 kills in the JV match today as Smagula's serve misses just long. Going back to Connor Christopher for a second, he had 6 kills against Newton North back in April, including the match-winning kill in the 5th set. As now Newton North sending this one over, taken by Bacon, and it's over on 1, awkwardly taken by Dwyer, kept alive there. And bumped over, but they missed it wide. Just a chaotic sequence for Newton North there, and they can't get it together.
And there's been a lot of chaos, Jesse, on the Tigers, and not a ton of chaos for Brookline, as they've been really controlled, both the JV team and this team.
But not controlled on that serve there from Kiger, as the freshman misses that one long. 7-3 the score, as the Newton North libero Brady Dwyer going on serve. This one taken by Bacon, chased down by Smagula. Tomer punches it over, dug out there by Ben Tauvim, set by Weber and punched over by Peter Reel. Smagula now sets a roll shot from Christopher, dug out by Dwyer, set by Weber. This spike from Cotto sails long, no deflection.
And Cotto wants a deflection. It looks like it could have easily taken one, but referee rules no.
Newton North appealing, and they're not winning that appeal, so Brookline gets the point, and now Liam Raybold on serve for the Warriors. This one taken a bit awkwardly and sent over on 2 by Weber, pushed by Tomer, but he misses it wide.
Amir Tomer tried to find the bottom outside left area where no defenders were, but he just misses it.
Subbing in now for Newton North is number 22, Paul Milliken. I think we saw him playing in that JV match, which is why he was wearing the varsity colors as opposed to the orange jersey numbers that the rest of the JV guys were wearing. He sends this serve over, received by Tomer, set by Smagula. Tomer's spike muscles it through the blockers. Nice downward trajectory there for his first kill.
There, Amir Tomer, so dangerous with his power in the middle. And in general, up front for the Warriors. A good set there, too.
Smagula 4 assists. Tomer, his first kill, had 13 in the 5-set match against Newton North. This one is awkwardly hit over by Weber. It's taken by Christopher, set by Smagula from the back. It's Kiger! The freshman getting work done in both JV and varsity today.
And Will Kiger coming off from the back and just smoking that one for the kill. Brookline leading by 6.
Brookline firmly in control here as Smagula picks up his 5th assist. Now on serve is Christopher.
And Jesse, Will Kiger, he came out of nowhere on that play.
The serve is taken by number 15, Tauvim. Battle at the net, and Brookline wins it, as they're going to say that Newton North reached over on that one.
It's a bit of confusion, but it's all resolved.
(11-4) the score. They're just clearing things up with the scorers table. Out there on the floor for Newton North, they've got number 13, Peter Reel, number 12, Taz Weber, number 1, Brady Dwyer, number 22, Paul Milliken, number 9, Jake Svatstrom, and number 15, Ben Tauvim. Noticeably absent is their top hitter, Simon Varday, who had 29 kills in those 5 sets against Brookline back in April. Might be hurt, I'm not sure. Serve taken by Svatstrom, set by Weber. Spike from Reel, and Peter Reel answers back as, oh, I see what the confusion was. They took that last point off. I think they called it a mulligan there. But a kill for Peter Reel. First kill of the day for Newton North. This serve from Tauvim, taken awkwardly by Kais Alfakuri, set up for Alfakuri, who taps it over. Now set up for Reel, and he sends it to the back line, and he hits it.
And Peter Reel proving menacing up front for Newton North. Brookline struggled to defend each side of that middle attack position. They've been a little bit compact, which is why Reel was able to get it out right there.
Now Tauvim on serve for the Tigers, received by Alfakuri, set by Smagula. Alfakuri, spike deflected, taken by Dwyer, set by Weber. This spike cross-court dug out by Bacon, and a spike on 2 by Alex Smagula.
When Smagula turning around, as he's able to adjust, and Jesse, that's one of those plays where even if the initial dig isn't perfect, the set's a bit off, Smagula is able to adjust.
Smagula with his first kill, 1 assist now for Andrew Bacon. Alfakuri, the serve off the fingertips of Dwyer, and that's going to go for an ace.
And it seems that Brookline really has the momentum, Jesse, here in the early game. Even though Newton North has been able to get points here and there, the Warriors have had complete control and a consistent lead.
Now Alfakuri's serve, received by Tauvim, set by Weber. Nico Atwood is blocked. It's recovered by Dwyer, bumped up by Weber. Atwood tries again, pushes to the back where it's taken by Alfakuri, set by Smagula. Spike Christopher drops that one on the back line.
And Connor Christopher ripping that one across, and yet another good set. Brookline has been so fluid so far in the first set, and that's been the big difference between them and Newton North in both games today.
2 kills now for Christopher, 6 assists for Smagula. Alfakuri's serve shallow and could not be followed up as he gets another ace.
And Alfakuri, this year and last year, he served as a bit of a serve specialist. His serves are rather unorthodox. Often he doesn't opt for the hardest option, but he has a lot of finesse on his serves, and they're often successful.
Second timeout called by Newton North. Brookline off to a great start here and really spreading the love so far. Vivars with 3 kills, Alfakuri 2 aces, Andrew Bacon 1 assist, Connor Christopher 2 kills, Alex Smagula 6 assists, 1 ace and 1 kill, Amir Tomer with 1 kill, and Will Kiger, the freshman, with 1 kill. So Brookline really spreading things out and getting a lot of guys involved. And again, I'm not sure. My guess is that Simon Varday is injured, and that's why he is absent here. And that's a big loss for Newton North if he is not around, because he was really the driving force of their offense, as evidenced by 29 kills against Brookline last time. Serve from Alfakuri taken a bit awkwardly, but Weber keeps it alive. Atwood sends it over. It's taken by Kiger, set by Smagula. From the back, it's Alfakuri, and he's blocked by Peter Reel, who is really trying to do the carry job for Newton North in this first set.
And Peter Reel, Jesse, he stepped up for the Tigers in this game. Despite the absence of Simon Varday, Reel's kept them at least relatively in it.
That one not relatively in, though, as Reel misses that serve. And he'll sub out along the back line as Dwyer, the libero, comes back in.
Now Brookline serving Zach Spencer for the first time this game.
Yes, indeed. And Spencer's serve is taken by Tauvim, and they could not follow it up. You know, that one, a borderline ace, but I'm going to say no on that one, as that was just more disorganization on Newton North's side. Zach Spencer did not play the last time they faced Newton North. He's gotten more playing time of late, being worked into that rotation as a middle hitter. Had 2 kills and 1 block against Needham on Tuesday. Excuse me. This serve taken by Tauvim, set by Weber. Atwood, the spike blocked back by Liam Raybold.
Raybold coming in from the left side, and Brookline's been so much more organized than Newton North, but the big difference is every time Newton North has gotten the first touch, it's been a little bit off balance. The Warrior serves have been able to affect them.
Well, no effect on that serve there as Spencer misses it into the net. 17-8, Brookline leading by 9, and they need just 8 more points to win this first set in this best-of-5 match. And this one just looking completely different from their matchup in April, as Newton North gets set on the serve. Taz Weber sending this one over, received by Kiger, set by Smagula. Kiger, the spike, gets through for the kill.
And that's now Will Kiger's second kill of this game, 7th on the day, as he had 5 in the first game, the JV game.
Second for Kiger, 7th assist for Alec Smagula. And there's actually a number of guys that seem to be missing for Newton North today, as we got a brief pause here with Alon Ingerman checking in for Brookline. Among some of the other guys who were big contributors last time that I haven't seen, Paul Nelson, another senior like Varday, had 4 kills and 3 aces last time. Aaron Stein had 7 kills as a freshman, and he's not, I haven't seen him yet. So a number of key guys missing for Newton North. I'm not sure why. This serve taken by Tauvim, set by Weber, spike Mercedes, and he misses it long and wide, and Brookline takes another point, as going back on serve is another backup for Brookline, number 23, Flynn Gumpel, into the game as a backup setter, subbing in for Smagula. This serve taken awkwardly, set by Weber. Cotto, the spike, gets through the blockers, and he gets the kill.
Cotto's able to get that one through Ingerman and Luca Galucci, who made their way from the left side all the way to near right side.
Third assist for Taz Weber. 1 kill for Amaris Cotto. He had 4 kills and 2 blocks against Brookline last time. This serve received by Alfakuri, set by Gumpel, spike by Kiger. No deflection there as he missed it wide.
Brookline, they've relied a tiny bit on deflections in this game to get some of their hits. They've been a little bit wild in offense.
This tap over from Galucci, dug out by Cotto, set up by Mercedes, pushed over by Weber, taken by Gumpel, set by Bacon, and punched over by Kiger, taken by Dwyer, set by Weber, tap over by Tauvim. Brookline almost kept it alive, but could not, as that kill will go to Ben Tauvim, his first.
Well, a pokey hit there from Will Kiger. Brookline unable to win the exchange. So Newton North have organized themselves better in the last couple of points. That's led to them having more success, Jesse.
Now Svatstrom Sending this one over, received by Alpha Khoury, set by Gumpel. Ingerman, the roll shot, taken by Weber, bumped up by Dwyer, bumped over by Cotto, taken by Bacon, set by Gumpel. Gallucci pushes it over, and it could not be taken as Luca Gallucci gets his first kill, and Flynn Gumpel gets his first assist.
Well, Flynn Gumpel in his first action here today, the backup spot. Alex Pagula, Flynn Gumpel's been getting a little bit more playing time lately.
As that's going to be an ace there for the freshman Kiger, sending that one off the net cord. So one ace to go with his 2 kills. This serve taken by Dwyer, set by Weber. This spike down the line from Amaris Cotto delivers on that one, his second kill.
They're Cotto able to find the open spot in the back far side of the screen. Nobody home in that area.
Dwyer's serve, taken a bit awkwardly by Kiger, chased down by Gumpel, punched over by Alpha Khoury, taken by Reel, set by Weber. Cotto, the roll shot, dug out there by Kiger, I believe, set by Gumpel. Spike is blocked, recovered by Gumpel, bumped up by Bacon. Long spike, Kiger dug out awkwardly. They could not get it back. Will Kiger going for what looked to be more of a defensive long-range hit, but he ends up getting the kill as Newton North can't receive it.
Well, Brookline, the Warriors have won a lot of these chaotic exchanges between the two sides.
This serve received by Tauvim, set by Weber, spike Cotto, and Cotto, I think, sent that one around the wrong side of the pole there, so called for the violation.
Looked like he could have also touched the net regardless.
Yeah.
Warriors point.
23-12, Brookline well in control of this one. Gallucci's serve received awkwardly, and that's going to be an ace for Luca Gallucci.
And it hasn't mattered who it's been. Brookline as a whole have had so much success in the service game. We talk about this so much, Jesse, the importance of good service and setting the tone.
Brookline now serving for the set. Gallucci sends it over. It's received by Svatstrom, set by Weber. Spike Cotto gets through, and this set is not over yet as Amaris Cotto picks up his 3rd kill.
Well, Cotto's been utilized heavily here on the last couple points for Newton North. Him and Peter Reel have been big difference makers.
Now Milliken on serve. This serve received by Kiger, set by Gumpel, and a spike from Alpha Khoury. A nice decoy try there, but Alpha Khoury misses it wide.
And a good shot there from Alpha Khoury. Just got it on the wrong part of his hand.
Still set point for Brookline. Milliken received by Alpha Khoury, set by Gumpel. Milliken goes for the roll shot, taken by Reel, set by Weber, tapped over and dug out by Ingerman, set by Gumpel. Spike Kiger, too far. Newton North winning a couple of set points, defending a couple of set points here.
And that one just a bit too far. Brookline really a couple inches away from winning the first set.
Milliken serve received by Alpha Khoury, set up for Spencer, but it's blocked by Peter Reel. Newton North with 4 unanswered points as Peter Reel picks up his 2nd block of the day.
And Brookline's had no answer for Reel in the middle.
And a timeout's going to be called by Brookline. At this point, Brookline, getting some more playing time for their backups, guys like Gumpel and Ingerman and Kiger, and as well as other guys who have been in and out of the rotation like Alpha Khoury and Spencer. And so this is a teachable moment for those backups, as they've got a long lead to work with, but you can't, rest on your laurels. Volleyball is that kind of sport where you have to get the last point. There's no running out the clock on this one. It's not like, basketball where you can put in all of your backups once you're up by 30 with 2 minutes left. If you put in your backups in this sport, they have to deliver enough to get that last point.
But they have delivered in this set. Brookline still up by 8, despite the fact Newton North has gotten the last couple points. These backups still have shown up for Brookline and the Warriors in the absence of guys like Vivars and Spagula.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can finish it here out of the timeout. Milliken back on serve for the Tigers. Received a bit awkwardly by Alpha Curry, and no one's there to follow it up, and that is not how you want to come out of the timeout.
And that's the kind of thing Brookline needs to improve on. They have had a couple of these moments where they've had communication problems. But again, you said it, Jesse, a real teachable moment.
24-17, serve from Milliken, received by Kiger, set by Gumpel, tap over by Zach Spencer, is dug out by Dwyer, kept alive by Weber, but they could not. Mistimed between Weber and Reel, and it'll be an error that ends that first set as Brookline takes it 25-17.
Well, Jesse, in the first set, Brookline, the backups, they played well. They had their moments of slight adversity, again, in the absences of Smagula and Vivars, having guys like Kiger and Gumpel play. But they did well. Well, Kiger had a good set, and really, as a whole, the team chemistry did look on point, considering they're playing their second unit.
Unofficial stats, the end of that first set for Newton North, Peter Reel with 2 kills and 2 blocks. Amaris Cotto with 3 kills. Taz Weber with 6 assists. 1 kill for Ben Tauvim. And 1 ace for Paul Milliken. For Brookline, I'm just going to go in numeric order for reading out these stats because we got a lot. Kristaps Vivars, 3 kills. Kais Alfakuri, 2 aces. Andrew Bacon, 2 assists. Connor Christopher, 2 kills. Alex Smagula, 7 assists, 1 ace and 1 kill. Luca Galucci, 1 kill and 1 ace. Amir Tomer, 1 kill. Flynn Gumpel, 1 assist. Will Kiger, 3 kills and 1 ace. And Liam Raybold with 1 block.
Well, in the first set, Brookline did well. Again, despite having their backups, and those backups still played well. And Jesse, we've talked about this so much. A team like the Warriors, the fact that their JV team can compete with other varsity squads. Even the second unit of their varsity team is able to outplay most other teams. So they've been in total control. Take that back. Not total control, but they've been in control of the game. Despite having flashpoints where the Tigers found their way inching back into the game, Brookline was able to quell those chances, winning the first set 25-17. And Jesse, we'll see whether the Warriors will bring back starters in the second set. This will be a really interesting thing to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. Pardon me, folks. So it's just up in the brightness a bit as getting into the later part of the day. Things get a little darker coming in through those windows. As we get ready for the second set, like you said, Sam, we'll see how much time the starters and the backups get going. Given that this is a varsity match against a high-ranked opponent, you got to imagine that they'll start out with the varsity starters again and see how big of an advantage they can build, or maybe not. I think I'm seeing the backups coming out again. It looks like that's what they're going with. Looks like they're going to start with Ingerman, Kiger, Spencer, Gumpel, Galucci, and the one starter returning on the floor is Connor Christopher, but he might be subbing out for a different libero, number 26, Sebi Levy, wearing the libero jersey here in set number 2. Facing off against a Newton North squad that's missing a lot of their key members from the last time they faced off, as Levy subs in for Galucci.
Well, Jesse, you got to think it could be the exact opposite approach that Brookline's looking to apply, keeping with their backups at the beginning and then putting the starters in possibly later if they struggle.
Weber sets this one up for Cotto, and it is through. Amaris Cotto to start this set off with his 4th kill. Taz Weber, his 7th assist.
Amaris Cotto able just to get it in between the Brookline blockers there on that play for the kill.
Now Milliken sending it over, received by Christopher, set by Gumpel. Spike by Kiger is dug out, followed up there by Reel and pushed over by Svatstrom. Taken by Christopher, set by Gumpel. Tap down by Zach Spencer.
Zach Spencer coming out from the front line of the hitting. Zach Spencer, again, another one of these players that he's gotten more playing time in the last couple games.
First kill of the day for Spencer, second assist for Gumpel. This serve from Kiger, received by Svatstrom, set by Weber, tap by Tauvim. They're going to say it was blocked wide by the Warriors there, so Tauvim gets the kill.
Well, good job there by the Warriors. Alone Ingerman and Flynn Gumpel there to shift over to block it, despite the unfortunate result.
Now Tauvim following up the kill with the serve. It goes off the fingertips of Christopher, followed up well by Levy. Long roll shot Christopher, and he drops that one in beautifully. Bad watch by the Newton North defense, and Christopher makes him pay.
That's an unbelievable shot from Connor Christopher, Jesse. Off balance, he's able to turn it around and somehow get it in play.
Yeah, and making up for a less than ideal first touch on the receive there, as he takes the assist from Sebi Levy and goes across the world for his third kill of the day. This serve received by Atwood, bumped up by Weber, sent over by Tauvim, dug out by Kiger, set by Gumpel. Spike from Ingerman is dug out by Tauvim, but sent just wide, and the lefty, Alon Ingerman, gets his first kill of the day.
Well, Alon Ingerman smashing that one, and it came off the defender, but sometimes that's all you need, just pure power. And that's an example of it right there.
3-2, Brookline leads here in set number 2. Spencer the serve, and he sails it long.
Zach Spencer just trying to put all he can into it, but he didn't quite get the downward movement enough on that serve attempt.
Now it'll be Peter Reel on serve for the Tigers. It's taken by Christopher, set by Gumpel. Christopher, the spike blocked, but Christopher somehow recovers it, and now Kiger punches it over. Taken by Tauvim, set by Weber, tapped down by Mercedes, kept alive by Ingerman, followed up by Kiger, pushed over by Christopher, and Christopher gets the push kill there.
Well, Connor Christopher, he can hit you in so many different ways. He has the power shot, but what he really specializes in, the thing is, Brookline has these players, Connor Christopher, Kaisal Fakuri, they can kill you in more than one facet.
This serve taken by Dwyer, set by Weber. Spike Atwood off the net cord, and it flies just wide.
Brookline getting lucky there, and the bounces have gone their way, but they haven't gone Brookline's way all that much. They still have faced a challenge.
Now Ingerman on serve. Received awkwardly, and no, they can't get that one over. And you know, I think we can be a little generous there and give an ace to Alon Ingerman on that one, his first of the day.
He's going up tempo.
And sends the next one into the net. 6-4. Slight advantage for Brookline early in this second set.
Jesse, that previous serve from Alon Ingerman, it had an awkward line drive motion. Looked like it caught off the guard of the Newton North players.
And Brookline now caught off guard as that one went off the net cord. It'll be an ace for Taz Weber.
And those are the hardest shots to defend against. The shots that you don't think they're going to go in. You really second guess it.
Now this serve taken by Kiger, set by Gumpel. Ingerman the spike, and Alon Ingerman with another kill.
And Ingerman, he's shown out in this game, a couple kills now for him. And he's been hitting these balls hard for Brookline. And you really see, Jesse, these backups for the Warriors. They've been taking advantage of their playing time.
Second kill for Ingerman. Fourth assist for Gumpel as this serve received by Dwyer, set by Weber. Spike Cotto is taken by Christopher, bumped up by Gumpel. Roll shot Kiger, received by Mercedes, set by Weber. Cotto another spike, dug out and sent over on one by Ingerman. Received by Mercedes, set by Weber. Mercedes sends it down, dug out, but not enough, as Bryson Mercedes will get the kill that time.
Mercedes able to traverse there and sort of push his body to the side. Brookline only up by one now. It's been a much closer second set.
Serve from Svatstrom, taken by Kiger, set by Gumpel. Ingerman misses on that one, just misconnected between the pass and the hit.
Well, you got to think, Jesse, when the first set started, Brookline had their starters and they got off to a good start.
Now from Levy to Gumpel to Gallucci, and Gallucci missed it wide.
Well, Brookline, they had that big lead, so then the backups were allowed a little bit more lead where they're still playing well, but got to think what Coach Lexi will decide to do.
Serve from Zvatstrom gives Brookline a free one as it goes into the net, tied up at 8.
And Sebi Levy coming off, and now he's one of Brookline's veterans, though.
He's going to sub out for Spencer as Spencer will take over on the front line. Gallucci the serve. It's taken by Dwyer, sent over on 1, received by Spencer close to the net. Battle at the net was won by Brookline, but now Newton North in sequence. Cotto the spike deflected and cannot be followed up as Amaris Cotto gets his 5th kill for the Tigers.
Amaris Cotto has been effective on all sides, both the left and the right for Newton North.
Tigers now with the lead, 9-8. Dwyer's serve received awkwardly and could not be followed up. That's going to be an ace for Brady Dwyer.
That one just came awkwardly off the hands of Will Kiger, and now Coach Lexi De La Cruz calls a timeout.
Yeah, it's exactly like you said there, Sam, that these backups had a tremendous lead to work with when they came in after the starters got out to such a dominant start against the Tigers in that first set. And they mostly played even the rest of the way in that second set after the backups came in, as the margin did not really change after that. And Brookline won that first set by 8. But now they're playing pretty even so far, and it's not going the Warriors' way at this moment. Tigers up 10-8.
Well, Jesse, Brookline still just behind by a bit, and now Sebi Levy riling up the team. So they're going to keep with the same lineup.
Indeed, they're going to stick with a lineup of Gumpel, Spencer, Kiger, Levy, Christopher, and Ingerman against the Newton North lineup of Dwyer, Zvatstrom, Weber, Reel, Tauvim, and Cotto. Serve taken by Christopher, set by Gumpel. Spike Kiger is blocked wide.
Well, that's an example there where even when it doesn't look necessarily pretty on a highlight tape, Will Kiger still able to get the kill for the Warriors on the block going out of bounds.
4th kill for Kiger, 5th assist for Gumpel. Serve from Gumpel now, taken by Zvatstrom, set by Weber. Tauvim the spike, gets through for the kill.
That one came off the hands of Gumpel, and it just came awkwardly off his left side.
3rd kill for Ben Tauvim, 11th assist for Taz Weber. Newton North now up by 2. Milliken, the serve, off the fingertips of Christopher, set by Levy. Ingerman, roll shot, goes off the blocker's hands, and Ingerman gets the kill.
Ingerman turned that one around. Able to get the point for Brookline alone. Ingerman's also had a good game. Both him and Kiger have been the second unit standouts.
3rd kill for Ingerman as this serve taken awkwardly by Zvatstrom, followed up by Dwyer, bumped over by Weber. Diving dig for Kiger, set by Gumpel. Ingerman the spike. No deflection there as he misses that one.
And Jesse, you got to watch the combination and duo of Alone Ingerman and Gumpel.
12-10, now the Newton North lead. Tauvim serve, taken by Christopher, set by Gumpel. Ingerman roll shot, placed perfectly for the kill that time.
And Ingerman, he just found the right spot with no contest there from the blockers of Newton North. Warriors still fighting in this second set.
That is 6 assists for Flynn Gumpel and 4 kills for Alon Ingerman as Luca Gallucci checks back in for the Warriors. Spencer's serve received by Milliken, chased down by Weber. Roll shot by Atwood is blocked, recovered by Reel, followed up by Dwyer, pushed over by Atwood, taken by Gallucci, set by Gumpel. Spike Gallucci, deflected, taken by Milliken. Set, tapped over by Reel, dug out by Spencer, sent over on 2 by Gumpel, but he touched the net there, and that's going to give the point to Newton North.
And Brookline, they've had a couple of those, but a lot of those small plays have actually gone in favor of Brookline, Jesse, throughout this game. Those little bounces and small calls like that from the referee, but this time it goes in the favor of Newton North.
Now Reel on serve for the Tigers. Off the net cord, received by Christopher, set by Gumpel. Christopher flies and sends it too far, no deflection.
Just a bit too much from Connor Christopher. He's had a lot of success on his finesse shots, that time opting for power.
Reel back on serve. This one received by Kiger, set by Gumpel. Ingram in the spike, and he misses as well. Brookline with consecutive misses, and a timeout is now going to be, or no, we got some starters coming back in for Brookline. They're not messing around here. They got confused, thought it was a timeout, but no, Brookline is just making substitutions. They're bringing Smagula and Vivars back in, looks like, in place of Ingerman and Gumpel.
Well, Jesse, we wondered, as this set's played out, the backups have done well for Brookline, but we wondered when this moment would come that they bring back in their captains.
Now Reel back on serve. Taken by Levy. Set by Smagula. Christopher, the spike gets through. The blockers for the kill.
And with Smagula coming in, you can tell Brookline getting serious in an instant.
Great connection there. Connor Christopher, his 5th kill. Smagula now 8 assists. And now on serve, it's received awkwardly by Tauvim, followed up barely by Mercedes, punched over by Atwood, taken by Smagula, bumped up by Levy. Vivars the spike blocked, but it's recovered by Gallucci, set by Smagula. Vivars flies again. Beautiful control with the top spin there for the kill. And again, you can just tell the difference.
You can really just tell. And again, Ingerman and Gumpel, they've played well in this game. Gumpel's done well at setter, and Ingerman with a couple kills, but Smagula and Vivars, another one.
And that is an ace for Alec Smagula, his 2nd of the day, as this has just been an immediate jolt of momentum for Brookline with their starters back on the floor. Now this one sent back on one, sent right down on one by Christopher, but Newton North keeps it alive, sends it over. Oh, juggled by Levy, but kept alive, and Vivars spikes it, and that one is going to be a point for Brookline. Brookline's so lucky on that one, very close to a violation on that hit by Levy, but ultimately Vivars gets the kill off the assist from Luca Gallucci on that chaotic sequence.
Well, Jesse, Vivars' hit, it went off the defender, then off the ceiling. You don't see that every day.
This serve sent over now by Tauvim, and this time off the fingertips of Levy. Not well there, as Tauvim from the assist from Brady Dwyer puts Newton North back in the lead. That is 4 kills for Tauvim, 1st assist for Dwyer.
Tauvim able to put a ton of spin on it, faking out Sebi Levy.
Now Weber the serve, received by Levy, set by Smagula. Christopher, the roll shot, dug out there by Tauvim off the ceiling. It's followed up by Weber, punched over by Atwood, dug out by Smagula, set by Levy. So Vivars flies his hit, dug out by Dwyer, sent over on one, sent back, and it's sent down by Bryson Mercedes as that first hit from Levy went further than he wanted it to.
And a rare blocking lapse from Brookline there as their front court was spread out, unable to defend against the open shot.
This serve is taken by Kiger, set by Smagula. Vivars, the roll shot, delivers perfectly for another kill.
And again, Jesse, Brookline, you can just sense the momentum. Smagula and Vivars really injecting light into the rest of the team.
Yes, but they're still trailing as Smagula picks up his 10th assist, Vivars his 6th kill. Brookline still behind one here, 17-16. Christopher the serve, taken by Dwyer, set by Weber. Cotto the spike, deflected and taken by Levy, set by Smagula. Kiger the spike is dug out by Tauvim, but cannot be followed up as Will Kiger delivers to tie it up.
And Will Kiger, he's held his own amongst the other starters, interesting, when Lexi De La Cruz made those substitutions, he kept Kiger in.
Christopher back on serve. Taken by Dwyer over on one and down on one by Kiger, who collects his 6th kill of the match thus far.
And Brookline with our first lead in a minute here in the second set.
Serve Christopher, taken by Tauvim, set by Weber. Cotto, blocked by Vivars.
And that's just classic Brookline. Christos Vivars, a one-on-one block. And a timeout called.
Had a little assistance on the coverage from Gallucci, but it was ultimately Vivars who got the block. And now Brookline with a 19-17 lead over the Tigers as they have outscored Newton North 7-2 since subbing in Vivars and Smagula.
Well, Jesse, Brookline, again, the score might not signal it, but after these last couple of points, even though Newton North was able to compete with Brookline, they still had some bounces that went their way. The Warriors have been in control of this game since Brookline was down 11-15.
Indeed, and you know, even if some of those backups had to be subbed out, I still give them credit for showing what they can do in the playing time they've gotten. And then some of the backups who have stayed in, you know, give them credit for continuing to fight and continuing to provide. As out of the timeout, Christopher back on serve for Brookline. This one dug out by Dwyer, followed up awkwardly by Cotto, bumped over by Weber, received by Christopher, bumped up by Smagula. Kiger sends it down the line. It's dug out by Weber, followed up by Dwyer, punched over by Cotto, received by Gallucci, set by Smagula. Gallucci spike, and he gets the kill there.
Luca Gallucci coming open. It almost looked like Will Kiger was going to hit it there, but then Gallucci came in so many weapons that Newton North has to deal with up front.
So many different directions that Smagula can go with his passes, as he's now got 12 assists. Luca Gallucci picking up his 2nd kill of the day. Last time against Newton North, Gallucci had 3 kills and 2 blocks. So far he's got 2 kills, 1 ace, and 1 assist. Christopher's serve, taken by Atwood, set by Weber. Mercedes, the spike, cannot be dug out by Smagula that time, as Newton North answers back.
And that one just quick. Brookline unable to react to the fast-paced set and hit.
Bryson Mercedes with 3 kills. He had just 2 against Brookline back in April. Serve from Zvatstrom, taken by Levy, set by Smagula, and that spike blocked by Mercedes, as that one came in a little low and well covered by Bryson Mercedes for his
first block.
Looked like that
set, Jesse, was a bit low, but also a bit in front.
Serve received by Levy, set by Smagula, spike Vivars, and what a laser that time from Kristaps Vivars to keep Brookline in the lead.
And again, it hasn't been a perfect game for Brookline, but we've still had plenty of Kristaps Vivars' highlights. As his big moments, they have been huge.
Serve here from Kiger, received. Set by Weber. Cotto the spike, gets through for another kill. Newton North staying right on Brookline's heels here, as Cotto picks up his 6th kill. Weber his 13th assist. Brady Dwyer now on serve, and his serve into the net, and that was definitely not something Newton North needed when they had a chance to tie.
Well, Newton North, then we can take it back to take it back to the JV game. Newton North had a lot of issues with their service. It has been just fine in the varsity game, but
a little less fine on that last one.
A little less on that play.
Yeah.
That specific play.
A timeout called here as we head down the final stretch of this close second set. Brookline started out with their backups, fell behind. They've subbed in 2 of their starters in Vivars and Smagula, and they've had some of their rotational guys, Spencer and Gallucci, 2 of their rotational middle blockers staying in here. Will Kiger a backup outside hitter, has gotten plenty of playing time, and Connor Christopher, the one starter who's really been in from start to finish in this second set. Brookline trying to finish the job here. Vivars on serve out of the timeout. Taken by Dwyer, set by Weber, tap over by Reel, is taken by Smagula, bumped up by Levy. Roll shot, Kiger off the blocker's hands and drops for the kill.
Will Kiger's had a couple of these where it's gone off the hands of the blockers, but he's able to finesse the angle enough to still get the kill.
Third assist of the day for Sebi Levy as Will Kiger picks up his 7th kill. This serve received by Tauvim, set by Weber. Spike Cotto gets through once again. Amaris Cotto trading blows with the Brookline hitters here as he's got his 7th kill.
Amaris Cotto, he's been the big difference maker keeping the Tigers in this game.
23-21, Milliken's serve taken by Christopher, bumped up by Smagula, and Vivars tried to go for a dump off, misplayed it, and it goes off the net. Newton North 1 point away from tying. Brookline 2 points away from winning the set, and Brookline is going to call timeout here.
Well, Jesse, Brookline neck and neck with Newton North. The Warriors have been, it's felt, Jesse, that they've been one step ahead or so, just a little bit ever since the Stars have came back into the game, but the Tigers are still hanging around.
Yeah, give credit to the Tigers. They've responded well, and they've strung some points together to keep Brookline from completely flipping the script on them after bringing in Vivars and Smagula. You know, that's the thing with volleyball, even with some of your top guys in, everyone, all 6, have to be able to perform when the ball comes their way. You know, you can't, this isn't beach volleyball. You can't get by with just 2.
Well, definitely, Jesse, and it also goes to show how well the backups have actually played when they were in the game, considering how close Newton North has made it in this set since the starters have came in.
Milliken on serve out of the timeout. And it flies wide. Brookline catches a break out of the timeout as the service error puts them now at set point. Will Kiger to serve. Serve is taken by Tauvim, set by Weber. Reel barely gets it over, deflected, set by Vivars. The spike, Christopher, deflected and taken by Tauvim. Set by Weber. Reel, spike, and Reel gets the kill. And Newton North is not done yet.
That one came off the hand of Christos Vivars as he was trying to adjust and lay out for it.
3rd kill of the match so far for Peter Reel. 15th assist for Taz Weber. Ben Tauvim now serving, trying to get us into a tiebreaker situation. Serve taken by Christopher, set by Smagula. Christopher flies, and Christopher delivers with the set winner there.
And that's a heartbreaker for Newton North. Brookline neck and neck with the Tigers, and the Warriors able to pull it out. Again, Jesse, they were just about a step ahead ever since their starters came back into the game. Both teams played well in that set, and Newton North still kept it close even with the BHS starters in the game, going to show how well the backups actually did.
That was Connor Christopher's 6th kill, Alex Smagula's 14th assist. Brookline now up 2-0 as they take the second one, 25-23 by the narrowest possible margin. And now Brookline 1 set away from getting this win in straight sets. And during this break between the second and third set, we'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. We'd like to tell you about Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder and wetter months of the year, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. What Brookline Cares does is they purchase Empower coats from the Empowerment Plan while also purchasing Bombas socks, and they distribute those coats and socks to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless. And you can help them to bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section of this video, you can find a link on the website classy.org where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team, supporting their efforts to purchase and distribute more Empower coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining Brookline Cares, you can find another link in the description section, this time to the organization's own website on wixsite.com, where you can find more information about the group and how you can contact them. Check out those links in the description section down below and help spread the warmth with Brookline Cares. Players coming out for the third set now. For Brookline, 1 set away from winning the match. For Newton North, it is do or die.
Well, I said, Jesse, we talked about this before coming on stream. I thought this game was going to be a close 3-0 victory for Brookline. Newton North would compete with the Warriors, even without a lot of their top players. But I still think the Warriors are going to take this set, but it really could go either way.
Absolutely. And again, I wonder, some of the top players for Newton North missing. I wonder if maybe some of them are taking the AP exams today or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, it's been a tough matchup for Newton North. Not sure if guys are hurt or if guys are taking tests or what it is, but Newton North still bringing a fight even with some of their top guys absent.
The game about to start here. Brookline and Newton North. The Warriors on top 2-0 on sets after a 25-23 win in set number 2. It's Newton North to start serving.
And we got another different set of players in for Brookline as Luis Suarez from the JV squad now in as the setter. Looks like Ryan Cheng in as Jacob Lamb as the libero. But that first spike blocked by Amaris Cotto for Newton North. Liam Raybold was trying to get that one through, no dice.
Brookline using different liberos and really different players across the board in various sets. Gotta wonder what the plan is.
The plan on that one is a kill for Amir Tomer, assisted by Luis Suarez. As Brookline ties us up at 1.
Just a powerful shot from Amir Tomer. And the thing about Tomer is he's just raw power. He can do different things, but the main skill for him is he can just hit it as hard as he can. It's going to be really fast.
Second kill of the day for Tomer. First assist in varsity for Luis Suarez, who now sends that serve into the net. Suarez, of course, got a number of assists in the JV match. And now him and Kiger back out on the floor together here in varsity. Serve from Dwyer, received by Lamb, set by Suarez. Tap, the tap missed by Tomer as Newton North goes up 3-1.
It's an unfortunate play there. Amir Tomer tried to turn a little bit too much.
Serve received by Lamb, set by Suarez. Alpha Curry dug out by Dwyer, set by Weber. Tauvim couldn't get it. Oh, no, they say that went off a blocker's hands, and Tauvim gets the kill.
And Jesse Suarez put that in a perfect spot. Unfortunate, Brookline's unable to get the point. And again, they have no Alex Magula, no Christos Vivars for the third set.
And that serve gonna miss long from Dwyer. Ben Tauvim picking up his 5th kill as Taz Weber got his 16th assist, but now Brookline going on serve after that service error. Amir Tomer sending this one over, received by Svatstrom, set by Weber, and an awkward tap over, but it works. I believe that was Peter Reel on that one.
Just an unfortunate play, and Peter Reel, he's shown up mostly in the first set. He had a solid second set, but a little bit more quiet. Now gets his first kill of the third.
Now Milliken on serve. This one received by Kiger, set by Suarez. Kiger the roll shot, and it goes down the line perfectly for the kill.
Went off the hands of Milliken, who also played in that JV game we called earlier today.
8 kills now for Kiger. Second assist for Suarez. Now Liam Raybould, the serve, received by Dwyer, set by Weber. The spike by Real gets through the blockers for yet another kill. That is his 5th.
Came off the hands of Kais Al-Fakiri and spun out at an awkward angle.
Now Tauvim on serve for the Tigers. This one taken by Lamb, bumped up by Suarez. Al-Fakiri, the spike, received by Milliken, set by Weber. Atwood, the spike blocked back. Atwood recovers, followed up by Weber, and it does get over on the third, hit by Dwyer. Al-Fakiri to Suarez, a tap over by Gallucci. Again, Newton North barely keeps it alive, and Real bumps it over. Al-Fakiri takes it, set by Suarez, punched with the left hand, and it's blocked back, but recovered by Lamb, set by Suarez, tap over by Al-Fakiri. Again, Newton North barely recovers, but Atwood sends it into the net, and Brookline ultimately gets the point in a chaotic rally there.
Just an utterly chaotic play, but Brookline able to win the rally. And in the recent going, Newton North has won a lot of these rallies. Brookline looking to turn the tide here.
Al-Fakiri, the serve, and it's received awkwardly, and that's an ace for Kais Al-Fakiri.
Looked like it went off the top of the hands of Dwyer as he had his hands pointed downwards. A mistake there from the senior.
3 aces now for Kais Al-Fakiri, as he got 2 in that first set. Now has 1 here. Brookline within 1 now. This serve received by Milliken, set by Weber. Atwood goes cross court and misses wide.
Atwood was looking for the line there to put it in an unhittable spot against the Warriors, but he misses it.
Al-Fakiri going back on serve. Off the fingertips of Dwyer, followed up by Tauvim, bumped over by Atwood, received by Lamb, set by Suarez, tap over by Gallucci is taken by Weber, bumped up by Dwyer, roll shot Atwood, received by Lamb, set by Suarez, spike Al-Fakiri, dug out by Tauvim, barely kept alive, and they cannot follow it up as that is 4 hits.
Now Brookline, their first lead in a while. Here in the third set, the Warriors, we've talked about how their backups have played throughout this game, a slightly different lineup that they're going with here in the third set.
This one set up in a block, but again, Newton North keeps it alive as the battle at the net is won on the violation.
By Luis Suarez.
No, the violation by Nico Atwood. Suarez was winning the battle at the net, but what happened was Atwood touched the net when trying to battle him, and so that is what was called for the violation as Brookline takes the point and goes up by 2.
Well, Suarez inadvertently causing the violation. The JV1 player, Luis Suarez, one of the top freshman volleyball players for Brookline High School.
We got a note in the live chat from Ivnana supporting Brookline Warriors and Brookline Cares from Las Vegas. Thank you so much, Ivnana. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting local charitable efforts. We love to see that. You know, I cycle through those local charities, you know, every time, you know, a lot of the same ones, and I know for the most part people just, you know, listen to them and then just go on watching the match. But you know, if it gets even one extra person to support those local charities, you know, costs me nothing to do. So it's literally the least that I can do. Out of the timeout, Brookline up by 2. Al-Fakiri back on serve. He's got 3 aces so far today. This serve taken by Dwyer, followed up by Weber. Atwood, the spike blocked, but recovered by Weber, set by Dwyer. Atwood tries again, blocked again. Luca Gallucci back-to-back on the blocks, and the second one gets the point.
Gallucci turned it aside and hit it in.
Luca Gallucci now a full stat sheet, 2 kills, 1 block, 1 ace, and 1 assist. All 4 of the stats I keep track of, and he's got at least 1 of each. Al-Fakiri's serve, taken a bit awkwardly by Tauvim, sent over on 2 by Weber, taken by Al-Fakiri, set by Suarez. Gallucci's spike is blocked by Peter Real, who's been such a big presence in the middle for the Tigers.
And most of Peter Real's impact has been on that blocking game, Jesse. It has had some success
3 blocks so far
in terms of kills, but the blocks have been the big deal. Like a Luke Cornett kind of performance last night, if anybody watching has seen the Celtics game.
That serve from Real is going to go long. He's been impactful on the kills and the blocks, not as much with the serves, but he does have 5 kills and 3 blocks so far today for the Tigers. Brookline back up by 3 as Will Kiger, the freshman, sending this one over. Received awkwardly by Tauvim. Chased down by Weber. Battle at the net. Deflected. Suarez sends it up in the air. Sent back by Bryson Mercedes as he gets the kill, and Newton North cuts it within 2.
Mercedes has been able to take advantage of a lot of open spaces. That's where he's found most of his success for the Tigers in this game.
10-8, the Tigers lead. Serve from Weber, received by Lamb, barely kept alive and pushed over by Luca Gallucci. That looks like a desperate play, but Suarez just got his fingertips on it for that pass, and Luca Gallucci able to make the most of it with what almost looked like a hook shot from basketball. 3rd kill for Gallucci, 3rd assist for Suarez. This serve received by Tauvim, set by Weber, spike Atwood, deflected, and they did not follow it up as Atwood gets the kill that time.
And an awkward play there for Brookline in the back.
First,
looked like Jacob Lamb wanted to go for it, but
yeah, it looks like Adam Lamb actually wanted to go for it, number 17. As we got both Lamb brothers out now, number 50, Jacob Lamb, number 17, Adam Lamb, both on the floor for the Warriors. But Nico Atwood gets his first kill of the day. Taz Weber, his 19th assist. Serve from Zvatstrom, received by Kiger, set by Suarez. Tomer goes cross court to where nobody was. Brilliantly placed kill.
And Amir Tomer finds the perfect spot to the near side of the screen. Nobody on defense for Newton North in the vicinity. And
yeah, it looked initially like the pass was a little bit off timing, but then Tomer just took advantage of that to read the defense. From Tauvim to Weber to Cotto, and Cotto gets the kill that time for the Tigers, as he's been a strong hitter for Newton North today, 8 kills.
Cotto's been consistent as the game has gone on. He's been effective in all 3 sets.
Serve now from Dwyer, received there by Kiger, set by Suarez. Alpha Curry, the spike deflected and taken by Tauvim. Set by Weber. Cotto, the spike, diving dig by Suarez. Pushed up by Jacob Lamb, bumped over by Kiger, taken by Real, set by Weber. Real, tap over, dug out by Tomer, set by Suarez. Kiger, roll shot from the back, received by Zvatstrom, set by Weber. Spike Cotto blocked, Cotto recovers it. Followed up by Weber off the ceiling. Roll shot by Tauvim, and Tauvim delivers to cut the lead down to 1.
Tauvim finding the open spot, and that's what Newton North's done such a great job of in this game. That's how Brookline got a lot of their points in the beginning of the first set to get out to a big lead, which should eventually allow them to win relatively handily.
That serve missed by Dwyer, so Brookline will stay ahead for the moment. Tauvim with that last point, getting his 6th kill, 21 assists now for Taz Weber.
That's one thing that Brookline's done so well, Jesse. As this game has gone on, their serving has been incredible.
We are getting into the hotter parts of the year, so some parts of the hardwood sometimes need to be toweled down as a little hotter, a little more humid. You know, guys diving around on the floor. Lots of sweat can accumulate there and make things slippery. Tomer's serve, received by Tauvim, set by Weber, tap over by Real, deflected by Alpha Curry, followed up by Jacob Lamb, and an awkward roll shot there from, I believe, Kiger to get the kill that time.
Brookline, both these teams have not exclusively relied on hard hits.
Will Kiger, his 9th kill, first assist for Jacob Lamb as this serve from Tomer, received by Tauvim, set by Weber, roll shot Tauvim, received by Lamb, off the net, kept alive by Suarez, and pushed to the back by Liam Raybold.
Liam Raybold looked like he beat the defense there, hit it behind the back line. You
know, another instance where things being a little off timing, the hitter takes advantage to read the defense and make a good hit. Tomer goes for the power serve and misses that one into the net. 15-12 now the score, still in favor of Brookline.
Brookline, Jesse, in this set and in the last, it's been close, but the Warriors have stayed a bit ahead. They've been playing a little bit better than the Tigers.
This serve received by Kiger, bumped up by Suarez, but nobody there. That was just, I don't know what that was, but it was not good from Brookline.
Some miscommunication in their strategy, and Suarez almost got it back in, but was unable to get it around the pole.
Milliken's serve received by Kiger, set by Suarez. Alpha Curry the spike, misses long, no deflection, and Newton North is back within one.
Tigers coming in back into this game and a timeout.
Timeout called as this another tight set here in the third. That last kill by Raybold was his first kill of the match. Luis Suarez, his 5th assist. Brookline with 3 different setters with at least 5 assists today. 5 for Suarez, 6 for Gumpel, and 14 for Alex Magula. While for Newton North, they've been sticking with their starting setter, Taz Weber, as he's got 21 assists so far today.
Well, Brookline, and again, Jesse, the big story of the game has been how Brookline's second unit players have played. Well, Kiger stayed in the game he hasn't been taken out of the game ever since he came in.
Yeah, that's true. He came in early in the first set, and he's pretty much been staying out there this whole time, while everyone else has kind of been rotating in and out.
But in these rotations, you got to wonder if the set maintains this tightness till the end of it. You got to wonder if Coach Alexis De La Cruz will bring in Spagula and Vivars, or just let the situation play out.
And Raybold gets blocked on that one, but keeps it alive, set by Suarez, and that one off the pole, off the hit from Kiger, and that's going to tie us up at 15.
Kiger almost able to turn it aside to get the point for Brookline.
Milliken back on serve. This one received by Kiger, bumped up by Suarez, and Alpha Curry couldn't get it over the net. Clumsy sequence there for the Warriors as Newton North takes their first lead in a good bit, and in come the starters. Smagula in for Suarez, Vivars in for Alpha Curry, as now Brookline deciding to get serious here as we head towards the later stages of this third set. Milliken's serve received by Kiger, set by Smagula. Raybold sends it right through the blockers. And once again, an immediate feeling of difference in the rhythm right after the substitution.
Liam Raybold coming through. And Jesse, despite the fact that Vivars and Smagula have been taken out, Liam Raybold stayed in.
He's rotated in and out.
He's rotated in, but he's had the most playing time out of the starters for Brookline.
Behind Christopher, I would say.
Behind Christopher.
That spike dug out by Raybold, set by Smagula. A spike from Vivars, just too far. And Newton North goes back up 17-16.
Vivars almost tried to make too much out of his situation there. Backed up, and he just put a bit too much into it.
Now on serve, Tauvim. Off the net cord, received by Jacob Lamb, set by Smagula. Vivars flies, dug out by Milliken, followed up by Weber, pushed over by Atwood, taken by Gallucci, set by Smagula. Kiger blocked. Blocked there by Peter Reel again, as the Newton North junior now has 4 blocks today.
Peter Reel, he has not been stopped on defense. Brookline hasn't found an answer for him. And again, even though he hasn't had as much output on offense, his defensive prowess has proved important.
This serve from Tauvim taken awkwardly, and that's going to be an ace. Newton North now up by 3 as Tauvim gets his first ace of the day.
And this is the biggest deficit Brookline has seen since their 15-11 deficit in the second, before the timeout, which brought Vivars and Smagula back into the game.
Serve now from Tauvim, received by Tomer, set by Smagula. Kiger, roll shot dug out by Tauvim, set by Weber. Atwood, the spike blocked back, recovered by Weber, sent over on 2, and Reel gets the on-2 kill. Newton North up by 4. They've actually been outscoring Brookline even after the substitution brought their starters back in. Reel with 6 kills, Weber 22 assists. Timeout Brookline.
Well, for Newton North, that hasn't really mattered. Even though Brookline did win that second set, they played admittedly better with the starters in. There hasn't been that big of a difference. Newton North has still found success, whether it's Vivars or anybody else.
Yeah, and Newton North without some of their key players, but still giving a tremendous fight here, as even with Smagula and Vivars back in, Newton North has actually outscored Brookline since those 2 big substitutions, as they've outscored Brookline 4-1. Brookline got that first point off that spike from Raybould, and since then, every point has gone to the Tigers. Out of the timeout, Tauvim back on serve. Connor Christopher back in for Brookline. The only backup still in the game is the libero, Jacob Lamb. The Newton North bench bringing noise here as they're trying to rally. Tauvim serve off the fingertips of Lamb, bumped up by Vivars off the ceiling, but Tomer improvises and bumps it over. Taken by Tauvim at the net, tapped over. Off the deflection, it's dug out by Lamb, set by Smagula. Vivars, the spike deflected and taken by Weber. Bumped up by Dwyer. Atwood, the roll shot, dug out by Tomer, set by Smagula. Christopher, the spike, blocked, recovered by Lamb, set by Smagula. Tomer, roll shot, drops it in perfectly.
Amir Tomer found the open spot before the defender could pull up to get to it.
Amir Tomer with 4 kills today. Alec Smagula with his 16th assist. And now Brookline trying to rally. Vivars, the serve, received by Dwyer, set by Weber. Atwood, the roll shot, taken by Lamb. Spiked on 2 by Smagula, but it's dug out by Tauvim, but could not be followed up properly.
Smagula has made a big impact.
His 2nd kill of the day out of that setter spot. Jacob Lamb gets the assist, his 2nd assist of the day. And Newton North now calling timeout as Brookline scores 2 big points back-to-back.
And again, Jesse, you got to remember, this is a rivalry game between these two sides, Brookline and Newton North, state rivals, as Newton North and Newton South do not play in the same division or conference.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Same division, but Brookline and Newton North.
Yeah, Brookline and Newton North. You can have more than one rival.
Yeah, Newton North and Newton South definitely are.
Brookline is rivals with Newton North. I would say they're also rivals with Natick and, also with Needham as well. We got a lot of great local rivalries in the Bay State Conference across several sports, but especially in volleyball, especially these past few years, those big Bay State Conference 4 of Brookline, Needham, Natick, and Newton North, the B and the 4 ends, so to speak, has been a really intense rivalry, and no difference here today. Vivars, the serve taken by Tauvim, bumped up by Weber, blocked but recovered by Smagula, followed up by Vivars. Roll shot Christopher, and they can't dig that one out as Christopher delivers with a similar roll shot into no man's land as we saw from Tomer.
Connor Christopher's been consistent as the game has gone on. A bit of a more quiet second period, now coming alive again in the third.
This serve taken awkwardly by Tauvim, chased down by Weber, bumped over by Milliken, received by Vivars, set by Smagula. Tap over by Galucci is taken by Atwood, tap over by Reel, taken by Christopher, set by Smagula. Spike Vivars from the back, dug out by Tauvim, sent over on 1, sent back on 1. Oh, but they call Reel for touching the, either Reel or Weber. They called someone on Newton North for touching the net. Either way, Brookline ties it up at 20.
And that's a killer if you're Newton North, Jesse. All the momentum, a lot of it zapped there. This game tied up again, and Brookline making up that deficit.
They try and set up for Reel. He awkwardly punches it over after missing the timing. Bumped up by Lamb. Christopher gets the spike through. 8 kills now for Connor Christopher. 3 assists for Jacob Lamb.
Connor Christopher showing up. And now Vivars to serve for Brookline.
Vivars back on serve. Brookline now with the lead. This one taken. Set by Weber. Tap over by Reel. Could not be dug out. Peter Reel still battling strong for the Tigers as he comes away with his 7th kill of the match so far. Taz Weber, 23 assists.
And Peter Reel, his numbers have been so consistent. They're spread out across the game. He's been a constant force for Newton North.
Now his serve taken by Lamb, set by Smagula. Galucci sends it straight down.
And he set that one, Jesse, right at Peter Reel. Reel unable to adjust. And Brookline 3 points away from winning this game.
Luca Galucci with his 4th kill. Alex Smagula, 18 assists, 22-21. Brookline leads. Connor Christopher on serve for the Warriors. This serve received by Talvim, set by Weber. Mercedes taps it down, dug out by Lamb, set by Smagula. Spike down the line from Vivars. Brings the Thunder, and Brookline is within 2 of winning the match.
And there's the difference. When you have the starters in, Vivars and Spagula, they have a connection that we've seen Ingerman and Gumpel as well, but Vivars and Spagula, something special.
This serve barely dug out, sent over on one, taken by Lamb, set by Smagula. Vivars, the roll shot, dug out by Talvim, set by Weber. Spike blocked, recovered by Mercedes, set by Weber. Svatstrom punches it over, taken by Vivars. Battle at the net, deflected back, Galucci. Now tapped down by Alex Smagula as he wins that one at the net.
Brookline now 1 away, and ever since this game got knotted up at 20-20 here in the 3rd set, it's been all Brookline.
Now serving for the matches, Christopher, taken by Talvim, set by Weber, spike blocked, Mercedes recovers, set up by Svatstrom, bumped over by Weber, received by Vivars, set by Smagula. Galucci got overexcited and missed that one.
Just too much. You can tell he wanted that one. Luca Galucci put a bit too much into that one.
Now still match point for Brookline, but they've can only afford to lose 2 more points before it goes, 1 more point rather, and then it would go into a tiebreaker. This serve off the net cord, and it's going to be an ace for Weber. And boy, this one coming down to it here. 2nd ace of the day for Taz Weber, 24-23.
That's an absolute killer if you're Brookline.
Now, a very big point, the biggest of the match here. If Brookline takes this point, they win the match. If Newton North takes this point, we go into a tiebreaker situation tied at 24. Weber serving in this pivotal point. Will Brookline finish it, or will Newton North hang on? The serve received by Lamb, set by Smagula from the back. Vivars, he sailed it. Tried a little too hard on that one, and we're tied up at 24.
And Christos Vivars coming from the back row. Brookline opted for the unorthodox approach. But now this one in a deuce situation.
Weber's serve, received by Vivars, set by Smagula. Tomer missed. Back 3 straight misses on the spikes by the Warriors, and now it's set point for Newton North. Could the Tigers steal one away from the Brookline starters here in set number 3? Weber sending it over. Received by Lamb. Set by Smagula. Tomer, tap over. Dug out by Mercedes. Bumped awkwardly by Cotto. Oh, and a violation against Newton North. They called, I think, a touch of the net against Mercedes. And we're tied back up at 25.
Gosh, that's unbelievable, Jesse.
This whole set's been unbelievable. Luca Galucci going on serve for Brookline here. This one taken awkwardly by Talvim, followed up by Dwyer. Tap over by Cotto, received by Christopher, set by Smagula from the back. Vivars this time delivers to the back corner.
And Vivars, he makes up for that miss. Brookline 1 away from winning the game. And this has just been an incredible 3rd set, back and forth.
Absolutely. 9 kills now for Vivars. 20 assists for Smagula. Serving for the match is Luca Galucci. Serve, receipt by Tauvim, set by Weber. Caught of the spike, blocked by Liam Raybould. And Brookline wins the match.
Well, Jesse Raybould, he just got up and was in the right position at the right time. He hits that one right down, and Raybould's been a consistent force at middle blocker throughout the whole game. Him and Peter Reel playing similar roles throughout the match. Raybould's
in and out of the lineup today. He finishes with only 2 blocks, but a very impactful block there at the end as Brookline takes the third set 27-25, and they take the match in straight sets. Your final score, the Brookline Warriors 3 sets, the Newton North High Tigers 0 sets. Final set scores 25-17, 25-23, 27-25. Well, it's been an exciting one. You know, Newton North playing without some of their top guys, Brookline giving their backups a bunch of playing time, and a bunch of different people stepping up on both sides to give us a pretty tight and exciting match, even if it ends in straight sets.
Well, Jesse, a great game, and the second game of a doubleheader for us between the Brookline JV team, who won 2-0 in straight sets, and now the Warriors varsity team also in straight sets. But again, not an easy victory for Brookline. And I think what's the most important thing out of this game, the key takeaway, is that a lot of these second shift backup players for Brookline, they got those important reps against a very formidable Newton North team who still were able to stand up against Brookline starters.
Absolutely. Let's go through the unofficial stat totals for today. For Newton North, Peter Reel, 7 kills and a team-high 4 blocks, led all players in blocks today. Amaris Cotto with a team-leading 8 kills to go with 1 block. Bryson Mercedes, 4 kills, 1 block. Taz Weber, 23 assists and 2 service aces. Ben Tauvim, 6 kills, 1 ace. Brady Dwyer, 1 ace and 1 assist. Nico Atwood, 1 kill, and Paul Milliken, 1 ace. For Brookline, rather than going from top to bottom in terms of numbers, I'm just going to go through jersey number because we had so many guys recording stats today. Kristaps 5 Rs, 9 kills, 1 block. Kais Alfakuri, 3 aces. Alon Ingerman, 4 kills, 1 ace. Andrew Bacon, 2 assists. Connor Christopher, 8 kills. Zach Spencer, 1 kill. Alex Smagula, 20 assists, 2 aces, and 3 kills. Luca Galucci, 4 kills, 1 block, 1 ace, and 2 assists. Amir Tomer, 4 kills. Flynn Gumpel, 6 assists. Will Kiger, 9 kills, 1 ace, and 1 assist. Sebi Levy, 3 assists. Jacob Lamb, 3 assists. Luis Suarez, 5 assists. And Liam Raybould, 2 kills and 2 blocks, including the match-winning block there in the third set. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Tappan Street Gym. Alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to check out the description section down below where you can find the links for our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. And then you can also check out in the description section some links related to me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments that you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Brookline 3, Newton North 0. Set scores 25-17, 25-23, 27-25. From Tappan Street Gym in Brookline, Massachusetts, alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.